The 2020 NBA Draft marked the first time the league conducted the festivities virtually, but was still met with rousing success. Most mock drafts were spot on heading into selection day, with projected top 3 picks Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, and LaMelo Ball being the first names off the board respectively. But like every other draft, there were several prospects who were surprisingly picked way too early, allowing several high-touted players to slide off from the projected landing spots. These types of scenarios usually give youngsters even more motivation to prove teams who pass on them wrong. Here are 10 draft picks that could steal the show in further days. Let's move forward with our video and have a look at the top 10 such picks. So, let's begin. But before we proceed further, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do hit the subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any future NBA content. Number 10. Patrick Williams. The 2020 NBA Draft really started in number 4, with the Chicago Bulls had a number of potential options. The pick went to Patrick Williams, a former 5-star prospect who at Florida State was ACC 6th Man of the Year. He averaged 9.2 points per game and 4 rebounds per game, but his advanced numbers were great while also showcasing great two-way potential. Since he came off the bench for a non-juggernaut program, some will scoff at this selection. But if you know how Leonard Hamilton coaches and develops using a large rotation, you'll see that this prospect has a promising future in the NBA. This move likely means that the Bulls will give White the chance to run the team at point guard, while also be prepared to move on from Otto Porter, who has 1 year left on his deal. And considering that the depth of forwards in the first round was thin after both Williams and Onyeka Okongwu, this isn't too much of a reach for the franchise, if he was their true target all along. Number 9. Obi Toppin. Toppin is arguably one of the most exciting and athletically gifted players from this year's NBA draft crop, and is considered a prototype modern-day big, who would be perfect in today's NBA game. Toppin was still available by the time his hometown New York Knicks were on the clock at 8. Turns out, he was also the Buckers' prime target all along in the NBA draft. The team even considered trading up the draft since they were positive he will be long gone by that time. The Knicks liked Toppin so much in the NBA draft that they risked mockery by taking yet another power forward to add to their logjam at that position. Sure, he has his limitations on the defensive end, but having a front court partner like Mitchell Robinson can help alleviate those concerns. Plus, his nuclear athleticism alone should be enough to bring energy and excitement back to the Mecca. Toppin definitely loves his post-NBA draft situation, considering he'll be playing close to the streets where his father, Obadiah aka Duggar's Delight, rose to prominence as a street ball legend. Number 8. Jalen Smith. This year, Phoenix Suns decided that they wanted to make it 2 years in a row with what would be considered a head-scratching draft pick in Jalen Smith. This 6'10" forward, All-Big Ten forward at Maryland was a quality two-way player, with high potential as a floor-spacing power forward or center. His draft stock has been rising, starting out on the early second-round range to being projected in the latter half of the first round. Phoenix already made their big move, trading for his star point guard Chris Paul to pair with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. A big need was landing a big man with defensive and rebounding ability that can play the center spot and allow Ayton to play and thrive at power forward. If Smith can do that, then any offense he provides will be a boost to the franchise. It may not have fit in most mocks, but the Suns should still be happy with their selection. Number 7. Tyrese Haliburton. Killian Hayes went to Detroit, while wing Denny Ovia landed at Sacramento at number 9. San Antonio went with Devin Vassell at 11, which left Sacramento taking Haliburton with the number 12 pick. The instant reaction to this move was heavy praise for the Kings, with many analysts and experts believing that the team got a steal, considering that there weren't any front court players that they would have liked. Sacramento was able to get a guard that fits in their offense. At 6'5" with a great wingspan, Haliburton can play off the ball at the shooting guard position, whenever he's with star guard De'Aaron Fox on the court. Haliburton, between his shooting, passing, and defensive upgrade, this pick could give the franchise a 10+ year starter down the road, and allow them to move on from any malcontents on the roster. Number 6. Desmond Bane. Memphis took full advantage of the move, letting TCU guard Desmond Bane. The 6'6" guard left the Horned Frogs with 16.6 points per game and made over 44% from the three-point range. There were some talks that he could slide into the top half of the draft, but ended up being a steal for the Grizzlies. One area they needed to improve on: the Grizzlies are going to be in the playoff picture for a long time to come. They were one of the winners from this year's draft. Keep yourself tuned in as we discover 5 more amazing players with you all. Hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do it now in order to make sure you don't miss on any future NBA content from now on. Number 5. James Wiseman. James Wiseman was drafted from Memphis. Wiseman is the most purely talented player in the draft. For a 7'1" player, few have ever featured his combination of speed, agility, and dynamism. He should become an elite pick-and-roll defender, and he's already an effective rim protector. What's bothersome about Wiseman is how he handled his college career. What there was of it: he played 3 games, receiving a suspension from the NCAA, and then walked away from the Tigers when the 12 games nearly elapsed. If Wiseman had headed toward one of the NBA's dysfunctional franchises, then his career might have stagnated, but instead, he'll join a team made of champions: Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and if he's healthy, Klay Thompson. The culture will nudge him toward excellence. Number 4. Sadiq Bay. This is the best pick in the draft. Why wouldn't Brooklyn want to celebrate the good fortune of sitting there with a pick this late and having a 3-and-D winner like Bay fall in its lap? Who knows? But Detroit General Manager Troy Weaver is taking advantage of the Nets' generosity. A proven winner. Bay was a focal point of Villanova coach Jay Wright's offense, and now Bay will look to pivot, becoming a strong role player in the pros. His high IQ can be the difference maker. Bay was expected to be closer to the top 10, so this pick is a steal. Number 3. Isaac Okoro. The Cavaliers won 29% of their games last season. If the season had lasted the full 82 games, then that would have been 24 victories. Can they afford the luxury of selecting a one-way player with the 5th pick in the draft? Okoro averaged 12.9 points in his one college season, on a team that was begging for someone to step forward and make buckets. But it's hard to get that done when defenders play off you and dare you to shoot. Tigers coach Bruce Pearl was correct when he said that Okoro was the best defensive guard in the draft. But Okoro was 20 of 70 from the three-point range, a .286 percentage. It's hard to see how he makes Cleveland better. Number 2. Malachi Flynn. The Toronto Raptors looked to have drafted a gem here, and it arguably couldn't have come at a better time. Flynn, a 6'1" guard out of San Diego State, is a ready-made prospect at the guard position, with a strong playmaking and scoring ability. Flynn averaged 17.6 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.1 assists last season, and at 22 years old, and is a mature body ready to compete at the next level. He competes hard on the defensive end, and is far from a liability, despite his size. Some experts had Flynn dropping into the top 20, which made his slide to 29 a little surprising, and a big bonus for the Raptors. Keeping in mind that Fred VanVleet is about to hit free agency, the Raptors may need some help at the guard position, in which Flynn appears ready to do so. Number 1. Denny Ovia. With so many teams reaching so hard for potential, it was hard to believe Ovia lasted all the way to the number 9 pick. Ovia was probably done a disservice by constant comparisons to Luka Doncic, but it's rare for someone with his height and strength to have his vision and ability to pass on the move. Ovia is not a proven shooter, but neither is he a poor shooter, like some of those selected above him. He should have the ability to initiate offense from various positions on the floor, a quality many teams in the league are valuing now. He may not be a prodigy like the Mavs star, but the former Maccabi Tel Aviv standout does have a unique set of skills that were dissected before the NBA draft. Ovia is not a consistent shooter just yet. That would make him a 3-and-D guy. But his playmaking as a point forward is vastly underrated. the hops are also there, evidenced by his dunk-heavy highlight reel in the EuroLeague. The future of the John Wall-Bradley Beal tandem remains bleak in Wizards, so adding a guy like Ovia to bolster their wings is a good sign. So, which draft pick from 2020 you think could be the biggest steal of the season? Let us know your answers in the comments section down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you liked it, and do hit the subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.